Do you want to get rich? Do you want to know the science of getting rich? Do you want to finally end poverty in your space? Do you want to finally understand the science, the laws, the methods that would make you get richness in a way that it is almost impossible to fail in terms of the richness that you want to achieve in your life? Then this talk is for you, and this is the conversation, the continuation of the conversation I've started last Thursday. This is Master Coach A for Coaching for the Soul, Strengthening Thursday. Welcome to Decaf Coffee Republic. This is the home of professional certified CACC life coaches, and I'm coming in live right now inside PC or Pioneer Center compound along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. We're live. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. So, this is a continuation, and this is going to be a 20-week series on the mastery and diving deeper on the science of getting rich. So, if you have read the book, if you are familiar with the book and you're familiar with the theory, if you're familiar with the science, if you're familiar with the formula, then you're in for a good treat, because for the next 20 weeks, or of course 19, okay, we've done it last week. This is now part 2. This is chapter 2. We're diving deeper into how you're gonna put the science, the formula at work. So what we're doing here is we're unpacking each of the components. We're unpacking each of the details of the formula, so that when you get the formula, you will understand why Wallace said this is the science of getting rich. And this is the most essential of all knowledge, because I think you will agree with me that everyone, each and every one of us wants richness. We want to be rich in our money. We want to be rich in our relationship. We want to be rich in the way we do things. And we want to be rich in every way. And we're starting with richness in finances, richness in money, because it's impossible to fulfill what we need to fulfill without the provision, without that money. And it's written, okay? It's written that God desires to bless us. It is the delight. God delights in our prosperity. And so God wants us to have the provision. God wants us to have that conversation in life that we are feeling rich. How many of you agrees with that? Okay? And oftentimes we feel that we are poor in our conversation, poor in our relationship, and our spirit, our soul suffer the most. Because in everything that we do, we lack the confidence. We lack the, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can make it. How many of you connects with that?
Yeah.
Money needs energy, by the way. So if you don't have the energy, money will not come.
Yes.
Money needs energy. Money loves energy. So I want you to put some energy in the screen. To all of you joining me live right now, if you're joining me virtual, okay, give me a high five. Give me one word that comes to your mind right now when we talk about richness. Okay? So you have your thoughts about richness, and now as we continue talking about richness, what is it that you have in mind? What comes to your mind when you hear the word richness? Okay? Everyone on the floor, can we just give one word? What is richness to you? Overflow. Good.
Abundance.
Abundance. Come on. Shout it out. Wealth.
Family.
Family. Family. Come on. Richness.
Freedom.
Freedom. I like that. Oo nga naman. No? Oh, pwede. Good. Come on. What comes to your mind? Shout it out. Shout it out. What do you have in there? Come on. Shout it out. What do you have? What comes to your mind? What is your mental picture of richness? What comes to your thoughts? All right? Right now, as we talk about richness, what is richness to you? Come on now. What is richness to you? Mindset. Fulfillment. Okay. There is a science of getting rich, and it is an exact science like algebra, like arithmetic. There are certain laws which that governs the process of acquiring richness. Once these laws, are learned, or once these laws, you learn and you obey. You learn and you obey. There are two things. You learn and you obey. Many times you learn something, but you don't obey.
Yeah, true.
What you do is, you argue.
Yeah.
You procrastinate. That's not how science works, okay? So when you learn the law, when you learn the logic, okay, when you learn the process and the system, and you do it, you obey and submit, okay, to it, you will get rich with mathematical certainty. How many of you likes that?
Yeah.
I mean, just think about, you get the law, you get the formula, and you apply the formula, mathematically, arithmetically, you will get rich. How many of you wants that?
Yeah.
You get your answer.
Prove it.
Kung math problem siya, imposibleng magkamali ka. Okay, now, I want you to take note of this because this is super important. Okay, hashtag pack my bag moment, hashtag ROI. Don't miss this part. The ownership of money and property. Okay, the ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way. And those who do things in certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich. Okay? So, while those who do not do these things in this certain manner, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, you will remain poor. That's tough. Okay? And before I went live, I was having a conversation with my on-floor guests, and I was asking, what are the things that you can't reverse, even like in cooking, and you know, no matter what you do, it's not gonna work. And I'm thinking about cooking rice, as simple as cooking rice, okay? What do you need to cook rice? You simply need what? A rice and a water, and of course, a cooking instrument, right? But you'll never get to have cooked rice, okay, if you put the rice and say, I want it heated, brown, crispy, before I put the water. It won't work. It won't work. What you need to do is you wash the rice, put the water before you put it on the pot and heat the pot, right? Yeah. If you don't do it that way, no matter what you do, it's not going to get cooked. It's the same with richness. It's the same with richness. So this is science, and whether you agree or disagree, whether you believe or you don't believe, it will happen or it will not happen if you refuse to do things just as it's supposed to be. Okay? It's a natural law that, like, causes always produce effects. Yes? Okay. Can you share with me what are the things that definitely this is the cause and this is the effect? Come on. What would be the things that you do as a cause and definitely you'll get an effect?
No sleep equals tired.
I suppose. No sleep equals tired. What about people? Of course, I think that's legit. I mean, if you don't sleep for 40 days, you get tired. I get that. What else? You don't drink. You don't drink anything. What do? What happens? You get thirsty. Dehydration. Okay? Okay, and people would say, I'm not dehydrated. Okay, you're not dehydrated, but you're thirsty.
Yeah.
What else? Come on.
You eat fatty foods, you get fat.
Definitely. Oh, ayaw niya. Ayaw niya. Ayaw daw niya. Okay, I eat fatty foods, I don't get fat. Oh, what do you get?
You die.
Okay?
You don't wear yeah, you eat sweets. You just eat.
Okay. Now, I want you to come into mind things that are certainly true and cannot be false. It's like if you don't drink water, if you don't drink any liquid, you'll die. Why would you die? You get thirsty, you get dehydrated, and ultimately you die. Okay. You hold your breath for 1 hour. Don't breathe for 1 hour. I bet you will die. Yeah, come on, do this for 1 hour. I don't even know you. I don't even think you can get 1 hour. You're gonna pass out. Come on. So, Now, here's the thing. I know that here in the Coffee Republic, we say, this is a safe space for you, for your healing, and we inspire for you to get, transformation. We get that. But here's the thing. I'm going to burst the bubbles in terms of richness, because here's the thing. Getting rich is not a matter of environment. Think about it. Same environment, there are rich and there are poor. The same country, there are rich and there are poor. Even in Macau. And that's one of the greatest, showstopper for me when I was in Macau. When I was doing one of our trips in Macau, it was a showstopper for me because this thing when you go on a trip, you have your tour guide, and the tour guide would always show you and point your attention to the best part of the city, the best part of the space, right? But for some strange reason, okay, so you know me, okay, so if you know me, I would always turn my eyes on things that's not being pointed to me, and there I was at the middle and in space. Okay, if I put my attention on my left, I've got all the grandeur part of Macau, and then I put on my right, I saw the people like, that's a slum. Okay, don't argue with me. I mean, you say, that's not a slum. It's slum. It looks like slum to me with all the gigantic and the majestic buildings. And you look at, come on now. So, it's the same space. If it's all about environment, okay, why in the same family, some of the siblings get rich, okay? They get some money from their parents, they get rich. Some of the children get poor. Come on now. Okay? It is never about the government, because in the same nation, in the same country, with the same president, some people get rich, some people get poorer and poorer. Come on now. Would you agree? Okay, put a yes in the chat box, or okay, that everywhere, okay, and if you can find a space where this is not true, please let me know, okay? Would you agree that everywhere we go, we see richness and poorness living side by side? Come on.
Malls, for example.
Malls, even 5-star hotels, right? You see all the richness and the grandeur. You get to the bathroom and you see a woman, you see people who's washing the dishes there. It's the same there. There are people who's not sleeping and do the dishes, and they earn small. How many of you, come on now, is there any place in the world that you get to see, they get to visit, that there's an absence of poor or an absence of richness? There's none. Connecting?
Yeah.
So it's not about the country, it's not about the space, it's not about the family, it's not about your lineage. Okay? Now, when you study people who have gotten rich, okay, there are an average, okay, and a lot of respect, you would see that not a lot of people who got talents and abilities get rich. Okay? And interesting, if you look at people who are super rich, super wealthy, filthy rich, they would say, they're an average. They're not above average people. Trust me, it's true. They're not. They're not the geniuses. Many of the geniuses died hungry. Come on now. Think about it. Okay, if you don't want to take my word for it, you want to challenge it, go to the internet, research, do your research, or go to a library, check it out. Yeah, many geniuses of our history die poor, and those people who get rich, all right, and rich and filthy rich, are average. The law of average stays here. It's not above average. Think about it. Okay. Another thing that I want you to take a look. Getting rich is not the result of saving or thriftiness. Many people who have a lot of savings and have a lot of insurances are poor, and many people who are free spenders often get rich. Think about it. you would also say that there are things that same person, okay, two individuals will do the same thing. One will fail, one will make it. Okay, so there, the question arises. Where this certain way, okay, where is this certain way may not be so difficult that only, okay, where would it be so difficult, okay, that only may follow? Saan ba to hindi, paano ba itong hindi magiging mahirap? Because truth of the matter, very few people are just following it. Can you now realize that? How many of you are connecting now?
Yeah.
Have you realized, bakit ba hindi siya na gagawa?
Yung science.
The science. And we don't know the science, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, think about talented people getting rich. Black, what do you call that? The black sheep getting rich. Intellectually brilliant people getting rich. And also stupid people getting rich. Okay? Physically strong people getting rich and sick people getting rich. So, where do we draw the line now? What is that certainty? What is that certain way of doing things that very few people are able to crack? Location don't count. Environment don't count. Country don't count. Your government don't count. Getting rich involves, here's the thing, necessity of dealing. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready?
Getting rich involves the necessity of dealing with men and being where the people to deal with. If these are the people, if you are with the people who are inclined to be better, and you are in that environment to provide for these people who wants to get better, you will get rich.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Come on now. You need to be in a space, here's the thing, you need to get to where the people, okay, where the people needs dealing, and this dealing needs got to do with them wanting to be rich or wanting to improve in life. Absolutely, Master Coach. There is a necessity. There you go. If you get to a space that there is an absolute necessity, and you want to go there and serve with absolute desire, you're going to get rich. Okay? Think about it. If anyone else in your tribe, in your town, wants to get rich, and you go to that space, you will also get rich. But if you are in a space, in a town, or in an area where nobody wants to get rich, and you don't want to get out of that space, no matter what you do, you're not going to get rich. Master.
Kanina sabi niyo po, hindi siya sa environment. It's not a matter of environment.
Exactly.
So,
It's not the environment.
The environment is ayaw nilang maging rich.
Hindi po yung environment, tao. You only need one person in the environment who wants to get rich, and you go to that person, you connect. And if there's no person in that environment who needs, that's why it's not the environment. Because if it's an environment, everybody in the environment get rich. That, I want you to see this. Like for example, if you go to Hollywood, if you go to LA, if you go to France, okay, you don't get rich. But if you go to these places and you go to the people who makes the world go round in that spaces, then you get rich.
Yeah.
Think about it. It is science, and this is a formula. I am just unpacking the pieces of the formula, so when we get to the real formula, you understand that's why it works. It's not a matter of a particular business or profession. Many people get rich in my profession as a life coach, and many people throw the towel because they're starving as a life coach. I just had a master class, and one of my gurus said, it is unfortunate that people in our profession don't get rich and don't get the money they deserve simply because they refuse to get the first thing first. And you know what's the first thing first? Tools. That's why, okay, I want to invite you, get into my YouTube channel. I'm doing 100 days, okay? 100 days life coaching toolkit mastery inside my YouTube channel. I want to do that because I want to serve my space, because I learned that, okay? Isn't it strange? You want to be the best surgeon in that hospital, but you don't want to learn the tools of surgery. And that's what happened also with many coaches. Okay, right after certification, right after training, they want to get the best VA to speak about them. They want to get the best video to photo shoot what they can do. They want the right lighting. You know what? One of our coaches would always feel bad about my lighting, about my camera, about my mic. You know what? I've started, okay, in 2016, when we were starting, all right, we didn't have extra money for all the beautiful mic, okay? Because we were renting $1 million worth space. I started with a poor mic. Yes, I did. Yeah, go and check my. I didn't have lighting, and until today, I'm not. Thanks to my children, but honestly, well, I want to go out and be professional in the way I do things. But if you're inside upskill, you will even learn and hear my my previous classes done in Loom. You know what Loom? And my face is pixelated. Okay, so if I don't look to there, it's because Loom. Okay, it's not me. No, just kidding. Really, I don't have the beautiful lightings. But there are coaches who cannot watch me because I don't have a beautiful mic, I don't have a beautiful lighting, I don't have a beautiful background. And my teacher said, really, you refuse to master the tools, you're not going to go far. And that's why in Life Coach Philippines, from the beginning until today, it's still toolkits. Toolkits. Toolkits! And I want to go out in there. I want to serve. I want to go back to the space. Because I learned. I think about this. You can check this out. Go on YouTube and check on toolkits. You barely see people talking about toolkits. And I want to break through that. And I want to give you 100 of my best toolkits for the next 100 days. I want to do that. I want to stretch. I want to roll my sleeves again and serve the space. Because I learned the principle. Where you need it, then I'll go where the need is. Who's connected with me? Make sense?
Yes.
Make sense. Okay. Is it true that when you do your best in your business, which you like, which is like very akin or very close to you, is it true that certain talents, certain people will be developed, or certain star players will come to you? Come on now. Well, you're here, got stars here. Yeah, you get to attract people. See? Because you went to a space where there is need. I mean, if you want to get rich in the domain, in the industry of basketball, would you ever go to a space where no one wants basketball? Come on. And if no one is playing basketball in that space, do you think the superstars of basketball will ever get to see you? No matter what you do? Come on now. So, think about this. This is cool. No one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital. But many business owners would always say this. No one, okay, put it this way. No one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital. True, as you get capital, the increase becomes more easy and rapid. But one who has a capital is already rich. Unfortunately, you don't consider yourself to be rich, therefore you act like a poor. And you attract poor people. And you attract poor customers. And you attract poor partners. Think about it. You've got money, you've got something in your pocket, and you can use that money for a capital to do business. But here's what you do. Here's what you say. I don't have money. You've got money. Check on your pocket. You've got money. You've got money. But what do you say? I don't have money. I don't have money. You do have money. But you are making the choice not to risk that money for that money to grow bigger as a capital and to support the people's need. Think about it. Hindi umikot yung pera. You're right, Coach Tin. The getting of capital is part of the process of getting rich. Let me repeat that. The getting of capital is part of the process of getting rich. And it is a part of the result which invariably follows the doing of things in a certain way. Like you don't have a capital and you say, if only I have a capital, I will be rich. Absolutely perfect. But what are you doing to get the capital? You might be watching this on a replay and you're coming from the poorest of the poorest. You're the poorest man on the poorest continent. Okay? And you're deeply in debt, super loan. Neither of your friends, your influencers, neither in your space have the resources. But here's the thing. If you start doing things in certain way, richness will come to you. If you don't have capital, what is the next thing for you to do? If you don't have capital to start a business, what is the best thing for you to do? Come on. Get a capital. That's a simple thing. Come on. I mean, see how you're thinking. You don't have capital. What would you do? What would they do? I would pray. No, get capital. Capital comes in 8 ways. There are 8 capitals. Not capitals of the world, okay? Not the capital of Egypt. No. Capitals. Human capital. Cultural capital. There's a lot of capitals in there. And trust me, there's a lot of capitals that you can use, but you're not using. Becoming rich is an exact science or math. It's just like 1 + 1 is always 2. When you go to a space, remember you declare that God provides? Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you ask God to provide for you? Nabasa ko lang po yun. Meron pong ganung verse. Basahin niyo. God provides. Right? And you declare that. God provides. God is my provider. God is the source of my provision. So why don't you have a business? I don't have capital. You just said that God is the source. You just said that God provides. So why would not God provide you for the capital if you're taking the action and you are in the space where you can be a blessing? Next. What do you do with your talent? Okay? So, once again, okay, if you're joining me and you're thinking, where all this conversation is getting asked, Master Coach? Well, I am teaching the science. I'm not the one who created this. I am teaching this because I get where I am today by accident. What does it mean by accident? I don't know this. I haven't read this. I'm just blessed to follow, to obey. There are people who speak life to me. And I'm a very obedient person, honestly. Yeah. If I go to a space and the leader of the space tells me, do this, I will do it exactly. And that's one thing, that's I get, really. Wherever I go, I look for the leader, I look for the head, I submit to the head. And I learned that even before getting to the church. I'm always like that. Okay? So when I learned this, like today, I'm working on 2 things in my life. Roughly very, very new, all right? Not really new because I've been toiling on this for decades, but I parked that because of all my limiting minds, okay? And then after teaching my first part last week, this week, I got, okay, let's do this. The first thing I did, I went to the top people who's doing it and rocking it and making a big wave in the world. I'm learning from them. I paid them because, hey, they've been doing this for years, for decades, right? I want to pay them. I want to honor them. I mean, this is the money. Give me what you know. Okay? So, I can go where I want to go. Did I have extra money? No, I didn't have extra money. I just want to reallocate. So, I have to cut some fats. I have to cut some of the things. There are a lot of things I have to reallocate because I want to get started on something. 2 things that I know can help the finances of my business, finances of my tribe. What have you done since last week? Okay. When you read the book, the book will tell you, read the book, follow the system, and you will become rich. But here's the thing. You will realize that if you read the book, the exact formula comes at the latter part, right? Why? Because the author knows that if the formula is given to you right immediately, you will not follow it. What we will do, what many people would do, refute it, refuse it, and argue about it. Yes?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. How many of you here, growing up, you were told that you need to have special powers, that you need to be highly intelligent, that you need to have good grades, that you need to finish college, that you know to go to this beautiful school, you need to get to this company, you need to get this amount of money, you need to get this, you need to start owning properties, and you need to drive this kind of car to be hailed as successful, rich, and wealthy. Okay, trust me. I will bet you, I've seen a lot of people who did what they were told. They never get rich. Yes?
Yep.
And you are quiet. Okay, so let's talk it now. Okay? Bilisan po natin. Okay? Let's do some tests. So let's put our minds into practice. Okay? Getting rich is not about saving money or being thrifty. It is what? It is what? It is what? It is a result of doing things in a certain way. Gets? Did you get that? Okay, so that's a practice, okay? Saving, so getting rich is not saving money or being thrifty. It is a result of doing things in a certain way. Try this. Getting rich is not about environment. It is what? It is what? It is about the people in the environment who have a needs and you being in a space where there is a need. Yeah, how many of you would try? I mean, this is where many people would fail. They have a product and they will go to a space that there is no need for a product. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, getting rich is not about talent. It is what? It is what? It is what? If getting rich is not about talent, it is what? What? It is using your talent where there is a need for the talent. I mean, you're talented. Think about this. Don't get me wrong. You love to sing. You're good at singing. It's your talent. If you sing at the comfort of your home, just for you and your poor babies and the people in the home, nobody will pay you. You get to a space where they need a singer, okay? You get rich. You got money. Go deeper. There are people, who, there was a season in my life when I was, I think, 2 decades ago, that there was this Filipino people, singers, okay? I cannot remember all their names, but I think that Gary Valenciano was part of that, okay? You know what they did? They put this together, and you can hire them to visit somebody in the hospital to sing. Yeah, that was 2 decades ago. I'm very sure of Gary Valenciano. The rest of the stars, I don't know, okay? So I'm very sure of Gary, okay? Because I was in the company where they're getting our support to be part of that. So what this company, this organizers would do, okay, is not only you hire this artist, okay, Gary and the rest of the team, okay? So if you are watching and you know those artists, please drop it in a comment. But they would go to companies like us and say, would you like to give something to the people in the hospital? Yeah, you can hire them. You know that Telegram?
Yeah.
Okay, singing Telegram. So this is like a better version. You can hire the artists. You can hire singers to sing, like their favorite singers to sing for those in the hospital, in comatose, in the ICU. How many of you, that's expensive, by the way.
It is.
It is expensive. Yeah. You see that somebody have seen the need, okay, of the singing that singing portion, not only to be delivered to a loved one on a Valentine's Day, on a birthday, but that person, the organizer, have realized that there's a need for the boys, okay, for those people in the hospital. That person the person have identified the need and brought the people to that need, and they earn money. Huh? Can you see that? Okay. Getting rich is not about having capital. It is what? It is what? It is using the capital. Because I will bet you, many of you here today, watching, you have a lot of capitals, but you're not using it. What do you do with your capital? You park it in the bank. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong to say. But your money get to work for you. But what do? You work for money. Let the money work for you. If you work and you get that money and you put that money in the pedestal of numbers in your passbook, then you're working for money. You want money to work for you? Get that money and put that money into business. Do something that other people will also benefit for that money. That's the reverse. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of questions now to reflect before I close. Okay, so you can answer now with a yes or no, and maybe you can reflect on your assignment. Number 1, do you agree that the location of your business is important?
Yes.
Does it change anything if your business is online?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's your assignment now. Kanina with confidence.
That's okay. Yes.
Do you agree that you can get rich in any business or any profession if you like what you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like what you do?
Yes.
Why are you not rich? Well, you can reflect on it.
I'm enjoying this study.
I still have more questions. Woo! I like this. Okay. Okay, are you ready? I have 3 more. I love this. Do you agree that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment?
Yes.
Okay, what would you do better if you are in abundance setting than in a poor setting? What would you do better if you are in an abundant setting than in a poor setting?
Everything.
So therefore, you're in a poor setting right now?
No, I mean like if you have more with what you Wait lang, okay, let me explain.
I will drink my trauma.
See, if you have more abundance compared to what you have now, then obviously I would choose to upgrade everything as well. So it grows with the abundance. So then that will be a new layer, and then the abundance goes above that.
Okay. Thank you. Do you agree that no one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital?
Yes.
Let me repeat the question.
No.
Do you agree that no one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital? No one is prevented.
No one, yes.
Yeah, no one is prevented, right?
Yes.
So, do you have capital?
Yes.
So, why are you not rich? Okay, let me make this very light now as I close. This is gonna be a 20-week journey. So this is week 2. I have 18 more weeks, and trust me, as we uncover each and every week, next week we're gonna talk about, is opportunity being monopolized? I think you wanna see that next week, okay? Okay, let me repeat that. Okay, so let me repeat my invitations. And I hope you see me next week here on floor, because by next week I'm gonna give a toolkit paper. Okay, join us on floor. I wanna do. How many of you want to cut through the monopoly of people? Like many of you who's very, very angry with the rich, you come and see me on Thursday. I'm going to give you a toolkit. Let's cut through the monopoly. Okay? I mean, you want to cut the monopoly, do something. Wake up. Wake up. Why don't you just come? Let's have a conversation. Let's have some fun. Let's have some games next week. Let's cut through the monopoly. Okay, I'll see you next week. But I'm going to end with my question before I go. This is light. This is light. Okay, this is light. Okay. I want you to, with all the things I've said and shared with you, okay, I want you to create your very own original. Please, put something in the repository. Put some seed now. I want you to create one quote, quotable quotes, and put it in your timeline, put it in your chat box, okay, send it here, okay, send it to a friend. Better yet, why don't you put some video in there, okay, or record your voice, send it to someone, enrich someone's life with your learnings from tonight's conversation. This is Master Coach A. This is us in the Philippines. This is us in the Corporate Republic. This is us saying, don't go solo. Help is available. We want you to stay alive and live beautifully because you are created to be like that. Good night, everyone. Love, bang boom, love, bang boom, love, bang boom. We'll see you again here.